danger. As soon as you play that ball to Allende, the two men, Ngwenya and also Maduna on the other side, they need to try and get to the ball as quick as possible. Look at that trap. That is a pressing trap. Play the ball inside. We've got the numerical advantage around the ball. Now, Khoza and also Lunga are stretched out because Mamelodi Sundowns are building. That's what gives the time and space to Ngwenya. He unleashes an unstoppable shot that you can't blame Onyango not saving, but good pressing trap and good execution after winning the ball.
Yeah, not only is it an under-hit pass from Lungu, but it's also to the wrong foot of Allende. You know, with that pressing from that particular side, it should have been to, the attempt should have been into Allende's left.
Allende will be thinking to himself, though, and watching maybe the show and saying, I should have got a penalty. I should have had a penalty, maybe to make up for the fact that the pressing trap was executed on a ball that was coming to his feet. Was there a penalty? What's the rule about when the ball is somewhere near the line and the player is tackled on the line?
So Thomas, if a player is on the line, or let's say the penalty area line, the line belongs to the area that is demarcated or the boundary. So penalty. He penalty. Thomas, that's what the rule says.
Zidonga gets a little piece of him on the line, or is it on the line?
One foot is on the line, one foot is inside when contact is made. So therefore, for me, I would have given it.
No, but it's where
it's where if they can pause it there, you see where he is. His foot is on the line. The line belongs to the penalty area.
Yeah, but it's where the contact is made, not whether his feet are anywhere. It's where the actual contact is made. Then you have to decide whether it's on the line or not. And the contact was made, I believe, up
but there's also contact down here.
I think we need a pause. You know where the magnifying glass is, so that Mathew can make a decision. Where the magnifying glass is.
Are we comfortable, though, that there was a foul? Now you're saying it's just a case of whether it's this far forward or backwards.
Yeah, it's a very difficult decision for the linesman and the referee to make, because I believe the contact is quite high up. It's not. I don't believe it's there.
You don't think it's on the foot?
If you carry on with the movement, I believe that the knee hits him in the midriff. So you've got to take it where the contact is made. But it's a very difficult decision for the officials to make.
And funny enough, there was no appeal from the Sundowns players. So they all seemed really comfortable with the fact that this was not a penalty. Referee points to the free kick not given on that occasion. Then we see the second of the goals coming. It comes from the penalty spot. But Mlambo, you know, you wondered how Galaxy would be without Ditejana. But he does so well here.
This is very clever from Mlambo, because what he does here is that he sucks Tato Sabia into making the challenge.
He shows him the ball, right?
Yeah, he shows him the ball. And as Tato realizes there's an opportunity to get a tackle in, Mlambo just gets his left foot to shield the ball.
Yeah, show you the ball, come for it, put my leg out.
And he's committed to the tackle, and therefore he makes contact with Mlambo's left foot. And yeah, good decision. Unfortunately, 2 errors from the left-sided defenders for Sundowns in the first half.
Slotted away, Junior Zidonga, 2-0.
Well taken one. Zidonga calmly puts it in the back of the net, and he goes to the corner to celebrate. But this type of celebrations, the season is still long. You do the celebration of the opposition striker when you score the goal. That's the same celebration that Leon did against Orlando Pirates. Now they score, they go do the same celebration in the corner. But there's one thing, Matt, that you can't coach in football. That is speed. And in the Mlambo family, they've got that in abundance, because the explosive speed from the young Mlambo reminds me of Pakamani. But they did not only stop there, Mamelodi Sundowns, they kept working.
With a long-range effort here. This is Sundowns now looking to try and get back into the game. And Tape Ira was the difference in goal.
Yeah, I mean, second half, it was all downs.
But why doesn't he shoot himself?
Exactly. I think he could have put it on. He had time to put it onto his left foot and perhaps hit that to the far post. But what Cardoso did was, at half-time, he brought on Morena for Sibia. Morena went to right back. Lungu went to left back. And there was a lot more possession. And the passes in the final third from Racinho, Santos, was unbelievable. The touches in the box, they had many opportunities to get themselves back into the game. But this man, Tapeira, was just superb on the day.
Ira with a big save there on Matthews. Then this. Tembazwani now on. He weaves his way into a position to shoot.
It's good to see Tembazwani back on the field. It's good to see Tembazwani gliding through defenders as he is. Look at that 10. You touch him, he's going down in that moment. You have no chance but to rely on the goalkeeper, Tape Ira, who I thought had a fantastic game in terms of keeping TS Galaxy in the game.
Who needed it more here? Because coming into this, there's a bit of pressure. You know, Cardoso is feeling the heat, and you would think Bogdanovic was also feeling the heat. They'd gone 3 games in a row.
Feeling the heat after beating Pirates.
What do you mean?
Cardoso feeling the heat after beating Pirates.
No. So there was no heat?
I think he had already complained about the fixture congestion, so he was almost like setting himself up already for failure, and then having to make 10 changes. Didn't kind of set the team up nicely. You know, it's the messaging. You know, when you make 10 changes as well, it's and that's why it's so difficult to be a manager of players in that situation. You know, your so-called second stringers, trying to get them up and ready for the fight. In that instance, it's very difficult.
I don't think modern coaches is more about tactics. Modern coaching is about man management. It's about Cardoso saying the congested fixtures. What do I do about it? Do high-intensity game midweek, which is a game of high consequence. Then you come into the Nedbank and think, what is more important? Do I burn out my players, or do I keep them fresh for the Champions League and the rest of the league campaign?
Champions League starts May 15.
Amazulu game. Phumundzo.
But that's what I'm saying. He's thinking that in that Nedbank game, can he gamble? Is this the time to deload his squad?
But is it the time to gamble? Galaxy are quality. They just have been a bad run, but they have the quality to hurt any side in the league.
Well, as a coach, you won't forgive yourself. You play maybe a Leon in 2 consecutive games, and he pulls a hamstring against TS Galaxy. You can't play him for the next 4 weeks. That's the risk that you need to think about as a coach, to say, how do I manage my players?
But the scoreline tells you that the 10 changes were not good enough to beat TS Galaxy. 2-0 says to you, they weren't even at the game. But not necessarily the case. Ira made some good saves.
Yeah, he's just being realistic. You know, he had to make the changes, rotation, playing midweek, I think Saturday, and then Tuesday again. You know, he had to do it. So it was more of a risk. It's not that he doesn't want to progress in the Nedbank. No, he's not taking the mickey out of the tournament. No, he's just being realistic.
Now, realistic is something that Stellenbosch need to look at and think to themselves, 2 red cards in back-to-back games, that does not help the cause when you are trying to, 1, get away from the bottom of the table, and 2, potentially go on and win when it comes to the Nedbank Cup. It didn't help here, and we see the opportunities coming here. This was one of those chances in a game that was fascinating.
Man, I've been so impressed with Mlambo, you know, and what he's been able to do with this Arrows team, you know, and I think he's really matured, playing out wide and being able to do exactly this. To be honest, it was all Stellenbosch before this moment. Gavin was really hard done by, but this man with the assist, a missed kick from Malosani, who's going through a bit of a rough patch, and then Van Roy at that back post, so with the easy slot away.
Ndlovu, brilliant in the game, still continuing to shine in terms of what he's doing for Golden Arrows this season. His impact, undoubted.
The influence that the coach has had in this Arrows team, maybe you might not see it now. You'll see it later in the season as they progress in the league, and also in the Nedbank Cup. One thing that Manqoba has done was to evolve the wingers of Golden Arrows, not to only play in the wide channels, but his ability to give them the information of when do they come inside and play as inside 10s, when do they hug the line, when are they playing just in front of that striker to attract their attention. That's one thing that Coach Manqoba has done for Ndlovu, who I have seen a huge improvement from him this season.
I'm loving the tweets that are coming through. You guys are really enjoying the show and enjoying your time with the comments that are being made. However, this was a game that did have a red card. This was a game that maybe should have had a penalty as well awarded and was not awarded to Stellenbosch. And they'd be feeling very aggrieved to that because there couldn't have been a more obvious handball this year. And, I mean, even if we talk about VAR, guys, we don't need VAR for this one.
Yeah, look, The handball rule has changed 4 million times over the last 2 years, but I can assure you that that was definitely handball. No, I think in the referee's defense, there was an Arrows player running in his line. I'm not sure if he had a clear sight of that, but he should surely have had assistance from his linesman.
Why handball? Because it's not enough for it to just hit his hand. Hitting his hand doesn't make it a handball.
He's making himself bigger.
He made himself bigger.
Made himself bigger. Simple.
This.
Yeah. That's not a natural position to be in.
Penalty should have been awarded.
Yeah,
Wasn't. And then there was a red card as well. Mlambo finds himself sent off in this one. He got 2 yellow cards. You're mentioning he's having a bit of a difficult time right now. But for Stellenbosch, that's 2 red cards in 2 games.
Correct calls. That's the first thing that we need to establish. Makubo, correct call. We said excessive force endangering an opponent, correct call. This one, Maloisa, and he gets his 2nd yellow. And it's a foul. And it's a tackle from behind. You don't get the ball. That's a yellow card. You're breaking a promising attack. It's a yellow card. And that was the correct decision to say, this is the 2nd a yellow card for him. He's breaking a promising attack. He does not get the ball. He gets the man. He's lunging in. He takes the risk. So therefore, he needs to be booked for that.
And his first tackle was even worse. I mean, the one that he did in the 62nd minute was even worse. No reason for the complaints here from Mlambo. He has the early shower. Gavin Hunt there to say to him, unlucky boy. But Stellies crash out, and it's Arrows who progress to the next round of the Nedbank Cup. After the break, it's the shock of the Nedbank Cup potentially. Casrick Stars, they have seen off Orlando Pirates. And how did they do it in a dramatic penalty shootout that we'll show you coming up next. Welcome back. Casrick Stars, they were brave. Casrick Stars were unbelievable in how they were able to survive the onslaught of pressure and quality of the #1 side in the Betway Premiership. And that was in this Nedbank Cup encounter that saw the First Division side eventually in sudden death penalties beating Orlando Pirates by 5-4. Now, how did it even get into that position? Were Casrick just brilliant defensively? Pirates wasteful in the 90 minutes of football action? What happened?
So I think Wadu, played with a false 9 in De Jong, trying to confuse perhaps the 2 centre-backs and the two sixes, playing Moremi and Rele Mofokeng out wide. De Jong, we know, is very good at entering the box quite late, so that kind of made sense. But unfortunately for Pirates, Casrick were superbly well organised. 2 centre-backs, Mlilu, man of the match, Sweni were great. The 2 sixes was providing very great cover due to that exact threat from De Jong. And so they negated that particular plan from Pirates.
Eventually it gets to the penalty shootout. Now, after all that great defending, and what does it say here? I've got a tweet that I was told I have to look at. Manlord says, Phumundzo was serious on that Sundowns versus Pirate tactic dissection. Tears were held back by any means necessary. The hand of God found it hard to get off his throat. Give him some water there, Mathew. Guys, let's go through to the penalty shootout. And this was a penalty shootout that surprised in the sense that, first of all, Sibisi stands up to take that first penalty. Then we see on the other side, Casrick continuing to do the business. But right after Apollo scores for Pirates, you've got Chabatsani, then you've got Mbutuma, who then scores, but it's almost saved. And then Ndaba, those are not regular penalty takers. Those are players that, you're not expecting in a moment of this kind of pressure.
Yeah, poor penalty takers. All 3 actually missed the target. So Mtombeni didn't have to make a save. Just by the way, he's the Joseph's son. So it was great little family dynamic there. Did very well throughout the 90 minutes plus extra time. And then I thought that when Tikazi had the chance to win it, and he missed it, it was advantage Pirates, but it wasn't to be.
Yeah, I mean, Ozomena and Tigazi were brought on for their penalties. There was a last substitution done by Kazi, and they both missed.
No, but
the penalty specialists missed.
I think for me was, I think the pressure got to some of the Pirates players, because we're saying Orlando Pirates 3 penalties missed, not 3 penalties saved. Because the keeper did not have to make a save. Mtombeni did not have to make a save. Sivisi missed the target.
Chabatsani over the bar.
He's the crossbar.
Wide.
So maybe, was it pressure? Did they change their normal way of taking penalties? But again, Tikazi would feel that his teammates saved him because he had the opportunity to win it, and he missed his penalty.
The impact of this on the Soweto derby?
You know, this was not 3 points. Yeah, this was not 3 points. The 3 points was the one against Sundowns, but now you're out of the cup. But I'm sure Pirates had 9 players at AFCON. I'm sure the experience and the maturity would be, they know what responsibility they have to the supporters. Speaking
of great defensive performances, Kasrick put one on. So did Amatax as they took on Skokuni, because Kwanele Kopo's men fought, scraped, battled, did everything they could to stay in this game. And the stats tell you, first half, 64% of the possession to Skokuni, but not one shot on target for Skokuni. That's great defending. Then in the second half, it was 3 shots on target for Skokuni, 4 shots on target for Amatax. There's the finish that comes from Letlapa. And you know what I really like? Not only the happy birthday mom, but if you see the bench here, I mean, there's no reaction from Eric Tinkler and his bench. It's like we see this every day at training. I'm like, these guys are absolutely calm as you like on that bench after such a fantastic finish.
Yeah, there's 3 clubs that have played really good football, but results haven't really gone their way. One has been Sekhukhune, TS Galaxy, Golden Arrows, I think, as well. So I'm really happy for Eric and his team that they've progressed. You know, they certainly are one of the favorites now. I think them and I think I can also add Amazulu into that mix.
Galaxy.
Galaxy, certainly. And Letlapa, like we said, you know, he's a modern-day left-sided player, not afraid to get to the edge of the box. And this is what happens when you do let him do it.
Nobody stands up, nobody runs around. It's just like
seen this before.
I was so amazed at that. That is a great finish, Mr. Letlapa, and your bench have seen it before at training. Taking a look here. Msabata with some big saves.
He had to make big saves to keep his team in the game. It's a knockout game. You could see that at this moment, Amatax were throwing everything up front to try and get that equalizer, especially playing at home. But Msabata said, no, I'm not conceding a goal tonight or this afternoon.
And this is the mark of a quality goalkeeper, where you haven't done much in the game, and yet you're able to come off your line and make your save like that, which keeps your team in the cup.
And then here we go, saves the other side as well, as we look at Maholani.
Also, similarly, you know, very good goalkeeping, denying the space, coming off his line very, very quickly. He thought he had enough cover there. Everyone misses it, and then all of a sudden he's got to come off his line to a sprightly Mojela. Good to see him back in the starting lineup and match fit.
And then I thought Rasmus should have been watching this game there, because Mngube showed the kind of form that could get him a Springbok jersey with this particular tackle here. Teto wins the ball, and then watch the ability here. What a tackle! Pogo Pogo.
Yeah, he's lucky there was cover. If there was no cover, that would have been Doxo. But there was enough defenders to give him the cover. You also look at the direction and distance to goal. But he took one for the team, and he had to make a professional foul.
Look at this again. I mean, Teto snatches the ball away from him. Mngube realizes, hey, Gubi, and then says, whatever I can, it doesn't matter.
Well, if you look closely, there are rugby markings on that field, so perhaps he was on the wrong sport.
I know. There we go. We will definitely send the footage over to Saru, who might have some interest here in how good that cover tackle was from Mngube. Vital in the end of the day, though, because they do win it by 1-0, and that is how that encounter does end with Skokuni through to the next round. Now, there was more that took place, and there was plenty more in terms of the action that we did bring when it came to the Nedbank Cup. Milford, too strong for their opposition in Mkambati.
Yeah, Mkambati doing well to take them this far, the ABC team. You know, and again, it took 2 very clever subs from Coach Pupuma to change the game, Sikhumosha, and then also Ndlabi. to come on to score. Ending up 3-0 in the end, but they didn't have it all their own way.
2-0, and Milford showing that they do play in a significantly higher division, putting Kambati to the sword.
Yeah, clinical from Milford. They also did this the other season when they beat the likes of Kaizer Chiefs to get to this stage of the competition. But again, that's what you do to a lower division team. You don't have to show by any other sign, but putting the ball in the back of the net, and that's what Milford did.
Then it was Jaxa Spears that, I mean, if you looked at pure names on a piece of paper, you know Vasco da Gama. They're one of the older clubs out of the Western Cape, but they couldn't do too much here as the defense was poor, all in goal, and just too easy.
You know, Vasco da Gama having to play away, Northern Cape, you know, to a team who hails from Machareng, who last showed themselves on the Nedbank in 2008. So they must be extremely happy to progress. Well-deserved 1-0 win.
The draw was done right here in your World of Champions, AmaZulu Casric. What do you think, Phumundzo?
Casric showed that defensively they are very organized. It's not going to be an easy one for AmaZulu, but I think Ataswani can do it.
And then Sekhukhune Milford. Booth.
I think it's going to be Sekhukhune.
Galaxy Jaxa. And then Arrows have Durban City, the old Premiership encounter, that one.
I like the look of Arrows at the moment.
Arrows, Coach Mangoba is cooking down in KZN. Arrows are a team to watch.
All right, there you go. We've updated you. This has been Extra Time. Do not forget Kaizer Chiefs, Stellenbosch tomorrow. And then you've also got Mamelodi Sundowns in action against AmaZulu. Two huge games. Booth, all I can ask you is, all right, for tomorrow, Ushab, you okay?
Ask me after the game.
No, that's too late. But today, you're
confident.
Good. But today, umnandi.
Yeah, there'll probably be another 10 changes.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure the viewers at home enjoyed tweeting Phumundzo today. Good night.
And thank you at home for being with us on Extra Time. I'm your jersey number 10. We had a lot of fun. Hopefully you have been updated. I'll be back tomorrow for those two big matches when it comes to the Betway Premiership. 3 points critical for everyone involved tomorrow. Do not miss it. Good night.